This video is for you if you want to sell a coaching program, or you're already selling a coaching program and you want to scale it, but you don't want to look like a guru, right? This is a huge problem in the space, and that's the easiest way that you can lose trust and connection with your audience. You see this happen all the time. There's gurus who pop up on your feed a few months from the time they pop up, they're gone. I can think of a few people off the top of my head who I saw at the start of this year who are just gone off the face of the internet now because all they did was just marketing to hard sell as many people as possible. If your intention is not to do that, and it's actually to help people in your audience and to maintain a clean look with the front end of your brand, the first thing you need to understand before you do anything, how do you position yourself and your brand? And creators overlook this. Even if you keep the same content, there's a new variable. When you go from selling nothing to something, you now have to have a mechanism to sell that, or you just have CTAs, right, to DMs, whatever it is. And there needs to be congruency between the way you position yourselves and the content as well as your conversion mechanism, okay? Because if you have clean content and on the front end, everything looks high value, right, it looks trustworthy, and then someone clicks a link in your bio to a sales page, and that sales page looks the same exact way as a sales page of a guy who scammed them, right, or a guy who they don't trust in your space, well, now they're going to associate you with that person, right? And they're essentially going to associate you with being a guru, which is not the goal. You can't do what Tai Lopez did, the most well-known guru in the space. And what Tai Lopez did was flashy lifestyle marketing, always pitching people. He still does it. He still posts reels, saying, book a call with me. I'm doing 15-minute calls with people in my space, right? He's built his brand around high hype, low trust. And if you look at Tai Lopez's page now, it's pretty dead, right? Tai Lopez is doing reaction videos now to just random content to just target as many people as possible and grow his audience, because the info side of his business has passed its peak. And a lot of that is because he never built that trust with his audience, okay? Now, let's say you understand this. You're doing a little bit more valuable content. That needs to transfer to your conversion mechanism. The way you do that is by doing what Hormozi has done, right? Hormozi's brand has probably been around at this point, at least from the time of its rapid growth, for maybe 4 or 5 years. His brand is just growing, right? It's not stopping. He hasn't ruined trust with his audience. So you need to model him, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to do that without having to write 3 books. And it's working extremely well for Hormozi. The best way to model that is through a free community funnel. Because if you are already putting content, right, you already have this brand and you have that trust with your audience, you have that connection, well, you need to have, as I said, something congruent, right, that can actually convert that audience into your clients, right, and your customers. And congruent in terms of retaining that trust, right? So when they click on a link in your bio, they don't lose trust. Or when they DM you a call to action, they don't lose trust. And that's what the free community funnel does, right? And the reason it outperforms everything when it comes to positioning yourself as a value provider instead of a guru is because it creates no friction when someone has to join. It nurtures people within the community, right? You build a Discord, a Facebook group. This could be hosted anywhere, by the way. And you nurture people because you communicate with them, you build trust with them, and they like you a lot faster, right? They know you, like you, trust you a lot faster, and that's what you need for someone to buy from you. And if you set up your free community in the correct way, the mentorship for the person feels like the next logical step, right? It's not even something you have to necessarily ask them to do. You don't have to ask them, hey, buy my mentorship. I have 5 spots. Inside of the free community, that's a conclusion that your audience will come to themselves. We've used a free community to scale multiple offers. One of them being a fitness coach who scaled to $1 million per month, about 700,000 pounds UK offer with a free community funnel alone, pretty much, okay? There's a video on my channel. It's probably the video before this one that actually breaks down, and I'll link it in the description, how we did that. It's a 90-minute video uncovering and revealing absolutely everything. Creators who had a lot of trust with their audience and they didn't want to ruin that trust. There's Ale. The breakdown is also on my channel. I'm going to link it below, who he scaled with a free community, right? He had 1,000 followers and we had $40,000 per month with that. And we didn't break trust with his audience. He didn't become a guru in their eyes. And there's other results as well from different niches. So in terms of free community, how does it actually work? Okay. The first step of a free community is the only friction point that exists in a free community funnel. And that's getting people's information, right? So it's getting them to opt in to your free community. Okay. This could again be a Discord, Facebook group, whatever it is. You get them to opt in to your free community. If you do this right, you can get opt-in rates like this. And the reason you would collect your opt-in, right? You would collect the person's information instead of just sending them the link to join, right? And never getting their number, their name, or email, is because you want them as a lead for the future, right? We're doing a free community to actually get more coaching sales, right? Without looking like a guru than you would by just using a VSL and then having people just lose trust in your product as soon as they see that page, because again, they associate it to everyone else who's in your space, right? So this opt-in information is something we use down the line, right? But when you get their information, you have their email, right? This is where you can do sequences to get them to understand that you do have a mentorship, right? Build that awareness. You have their number. This is a place where a dialer or a setter of yours or even yourself can reach out to just check in on them and see where are they at, right? Do they need more help beyond the free community? And the next step is a VSL welcome page. So when they join your free community, don't just, end it there, okay? On the VSL welcome page, provide value first, congratulate them on joining, okay? You're retaining that trust that you built with your brand. Then make them aware of the fact that you do have a coaching program or a paid course. You're not pitching here. You're not telling them buy, right? You join my free community, buy this now. No, you're just making them aware. Okay, that's the goal here. We need that awareness, right? And that's another reason, again, why we collect the number and email, so we can make them aware through SMS, calls, and emails, and see, if it's possibly the next step that they need, right? If they need that next step of a mentorship. The third step of a free community monetization framework is an onboarding call, okay? So on this onboarding call, when they join the free community, the next page after this, right, besides what they see in the free community itself, is the onboarding call, so that they can, number one, actually get onboarded into the community. And this is something that you could do, okay, if you have a lot of time. If you don't have the time, this is something you can get a setter to do. That setter will onboard them into the free community, help them, right, and spend the first 5 minutes doing that, help them make the most out of it, okay? So explain all the channels they can use, explain how they can benefit from it, and then your setter or yourself, if you're taking these onboarding calls, would transition into asking them and, essentially probing if they do need any additional support right now. And if the answer is yes, they need additional support, right, that you can provide to them in your high ticket program or your low ticket program, your subscription, that's where your setter or yourself can then bridge into pitching them onto another call where you can break that down for them. If the answer is no, then they're just in the free community and now they're aware that you have something higher end, right? At this point, we have not sold them anything. We haven't pushed anything onto them unless they essentially ask for it, right? And that's the goal with the free community, because the free community itself does the conversions, right? And that's because of the community structure. So inside of the free community, to make sure you're not just building a free community where you're getting people in and, they're just sitting there, they're not engaged and never actually buying your stuff with a price, you need to have a few specific channels inside of your free community. Again, could be done on Discord, could be done on School. The first channel you need to have is Wins channel. And this is where your paid students that you either already have or you don't have, which I'll explain what you can do in that case, will post their results, right? So the free community members will see this and have a fear of missing out, right, on all the fun that your paid students are having. Now, if you don't have paid students, this is somewhere you can post your own results, okay? And say that these are the results I'm getting that I'm teaching in the paid system. You're not asking them to join it. You're just making them aware. Then the next channel is an upgrade channel. This is not a promotion channel. This is not a channel where you're pinging people. This is just a channel, again, to build awareness if someone wants to upgrade, okay? If someone wants to buy your paid thing. And this could be literally called, whatever your mentorship or your paid product is called, that would be the name of the channel, right? Upgrade to XYZ blueprint, right? Upgrade to my one-on-one fitness support, okay? Depending on whatever niche you're in. This is just a video here as well, right? I know it looks like the same one, but the goal with this channel is just to explain what that upgraded product that you have actually can do for them, right? How they can benefit from it. The third channel is the private concierge channel. So inside of this is going to be you, the free member, and a setter, right? A setter is someone who essentially just manages your DMs, manages communications for you, qualifies leads, and sees if your program can help them. So you're going to place a setter into this private concierge channel. And this is in Discord. If you use Discord, this is like a support ticket, right? It's like a group chat essentially between you, the free member, and a setter. The reason you have all three of you inside of there, and you do this with every member, you can automate this as well, is because number one, you being in that channel creates authority, right? And the person, the member of your community, will actually take it more seriously. Number two, the setter being in there can be the one who does all the talking. So you don't even have to talk in that channel, right? You can't manage 1,000 free community private concierge channels, but your setters can. And in this channel, the goal is to provide support to the member of your free community, okay? So whenever they have any questions, right? Maybe there's some one-on-one questions, some one-on-one support they need from you, they will go to this channel to ask those questions. And what this allows you to do is whenever they have a question where they need help with something that you solve in your paid product, your setter can nudge them towards it, right? Your setter can suggest it. Hey, I can give you this answer. We actually do go more in depth onto this problem, right? And covering this problem in our paid membership, okay? And when you have these 3 steps with a free community funnel and these 3 channels within your actual free community, you have a conversion flywheel. You have a conversion loop where all roads lead back to your mentorship without directly pitching, harassing people about it, and pushing it onto them, right? Because someone will join the free community, they will see their wins channel, they're going to get a fear of missing out, and then they're going to go to your upgrade channel and upgrade to your mentorship, right? Or someone joins the free community, right? They get on a support call or they go into the support chat, they see all the proof that you have, they see you positioning a mentorship as the next step, right? The more advanced support level, and again, they go into your mentorship. This, Myro, as just a bonus, is have an accountability channel or an accountability form in your free community. A lot of people miss this, but this is a low-hanging fruit, right? Because again, the goal here is to come off as a value provider and actually provide that value, but also use that as an opportunity to upsell people into your paid product. So have an accountability channel as well, where people can fill out a form. This, again, you can do this in any niche, right? A progress report form every single week, talking about the problems they're having, talking about the things that have improved, right? Talking about the wins they've had, and actually have yourself or a setter, right, someone on your team, review these forms. And this way, whenever you spot problems inside of this form, right, let's say someone is struggling with their diet. You have a private concierge, you have a group chat with that person, your setter, and when you or the setter spots that problem, they can reach out to the person and see how they can help them. And if the person needs more advanced support, right, or they have a deeper problem that you solve in your more advanced support, that's a place where that could be pitched to them. So apart from the accountability form and the way this works here, the only other thing that I would add on to making free community profitable would be support calls, right? So I have free community support calls. I would do these every 1 to 2 weeks for 1 hour, and you're doing these for free, okay? But that's the thing. That's exactly how you position yourself more like this guy instead of this guy right here. In these free community support calls, your goal is to just answer questions and help people, right? Whenever you're answering questions, again, this is an opportunity for you to pitch your advanced product. Not pitch, but suggest it. Okay, that's the right word to use. So if someone asks a question about a problem that you go deeper into in your paid program, you can mention that, right? And you're not asking them to buy. You can say that it's your choice, okay? But this is something we could help you with on a 1-to-1 level or on a more advanced level inside of my paid program, inside of the paid membership, whatever it's called. Now, during the last 2 to 5 minutes, right, of your Q&As, of these weekly calls, you can pitch whatever you do in your mentorship, or you can just pitch the Q&A itself, right? Let's say inside of the mentorship, you have more exclusive support channel, right? Or you have more group calls. In the last 2 to 5 minutes of your weekly calls here, if you're doing Q&As, you can say you get this inside of the mentorship every single day. And then when you have questions that are more personal, you can actually ask them to me one-on-one. So essentially what you're doing here is you're selling without actually selling, because you're suggesting. And that is the whole entire point of a free community funnel, right? You're selling without selling, because you're getting people into something that's free, that removes friction. You come off as a value provider and you get the same results as essentially Hormozi, right? Can it take a little bit more time? Absolutely. Okay. If your systems aren't dialed from day one, it could take some time, but it doesn't ruin your brand. It doesn't burn the trust you built with your audience, and you don't end up like Ty Lopez. Now, if you see how a free community system can help you retain the trust and connection you built with your brand, with your audience, and honestly, you have more money than time, we can build this entire system out for you on a done-for-you basis and actually break it down more as well over a call. The link to that call is in the description below, something you can book on the next page. If you have more time than money and you want to learn this process and you want to build it out yourself, we do consulting as well, right? So we'll guide you through building the entire free community funnel, setting it up with your audience, and leveraging it to make more money as a creator without becoming a guru.